Welcome back, everybody, to the channel and some more bolt action coverage here as we're working our way through the market garden scenarios. So today we have a street in Arnhem, which is the 15th scenario in the series and the book here. So it is set on the Utrichtsweg map here, but basically, as I say here, perfectly suitable for any German defenders and or British American attackers type of scenario. Again, you can play around with all these scenarios, which is really cool, aside from just having the standard 6 bolt action scenarios. So moving on then, the forces required. So unless players are utilizing the war in a small space option or place option, in which case the size of the force will have been set by the outcome of the previous action, the attacking force should have a points value superiority of about 20%. So for example, if the defending force has 1,000, then the attacker has 1,200 and so on. It is advisable that to ensure that the defenders are not seriously outmatched in terms of order dice, though. An easy way to do this is to limit the infantry squads of the defending side to small squads or sections of no more than 6 men, but it does then create the problem of, as those squads get shot up pretty rapidly, they're going to be very much ineffective. So yeah, they'll still maybe provide an order dice if they've stuck around, but you're not doing much with, a 6-man squad that's been dropped to 3 might not really do much of anything. So just play around with that and just see what works best for you guys in those types of scenarios. Now, this game does require a street with houses on both sides, so it's going to be another one of those terrain-intensive ones if you really want to kind of do it right, just to give you an idea there. Up and down the length of the board, the street can be straight or winding. Winding can make it a really fun and challenging scenario, too. To ensure that there's plenty of obstruction to line of sight, though, is the key thing for all that. So buildings, fences, hedges, outhouses, etc. So urban terrain, so go nuts on that. Now, the first turn, the attackers enter the board in the traditional bolt action manner, but the attacking player must retain at least a third of their strength as a second wave that can join using the the reserve rules. The defending units cannot be less than 24 from the opposing end of the table. So then the objective, the attacker needs to drive the enemy out of the streets, and the defender needs to prevent that from happening. So game duration, basically, street fighting is an arduous and time-consuming business that largely favors the defender. So here, and unfortunately it's cut off with the spirals, but I think it's supposed to be either turn 8 or 9. I doubt it would be the traditional 6, but basically 6 will probably go by pretty dang quickly. So again, after you get the hang of playing enough games, you can kind of set your own durations as well, but whatever you feel is a fair amount. Shouldn't go on indefinitely because, again, these scenarios, as it says, does favor the defender over time. Now, victory here, if the defenders still have 30% of their strength and possess a house on either side of the road without any enemy troops to their rear, they have stemmed the attack. If not, then they've done their utmost but haven't prevailed and the attackers have won. So you get kind of an idea here, right? So basically, you're trying to keep at least something on both sides of the streets if you're the defenders, and keep the enemy from getting behind you. But really, if you set it up exactly like this, you've got basically 3 big avenues that you kind of got to control. Now, obviously, a lot of their forces will probably come down the center, but you got to respect the opponent trying to sneak a unit up along the sides as well. And it does make it pretty fun and intense as the battles progress. You never know which part might break through, so you're going to have to constantly adjust your game plans. So obviously, if you put your own vehicles in the center, it's going to be hard for them to sneak down these narrow alleyways to help stem things going on the flanks. So lots of things to consider, but a fun one nonetheless. Let us know if you've played Street in Arnhem or something similar, and how you've set that up and how that shook out for you guys. We'd love to hear your bolt action stories, so drop us a comment, like, and subscribe as well. If you want to support the channel a little bit more as well, so if you're thinking about getting any bolt action or just Warlord products, hop on over to their site via the link in the pinned comment. That helps support the channel there. And if you want to support us even more, consider joining our Patreon. We have a lot of cool stuff going on there, and we'll start having more and more unique content on there as time progresses as well, and some early access bolt action videos too, as we start ramping up into more regular content for that too, as we're getting closer to having all of our forces painted. So be sure to check that out, guys, and thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one.